Hello everyone, welcome again to another episode of Galactic Science with Arturio Emerys. It's been a couple of days since I've done a recording, and a lot has happened in my world since then. I've got quite a bit of the automation done, and I'm producing resources automatically, which was my long-range goal, and now I'm starting to think about some of the other quest lines and getting to Mars and things like that. But I want to talk about what I've done first and show how everything works, and then I'll worry about building the rocket. And I'm mostly going to do that offline because the rocket's not that hard to do, and it's also not that interesting to watch a compressor run and produce ingots and stuff like that. So this thing here, you may have seen it, or at least the start of it in a previous video, is the ore processing system. And my sieving station over here automatically sends the output down this channel, and this filter over here only lets anything with broken in the name in. So the broken ores get drawn up this line here into this first crafter, which takes all the broken ores and makes them into the gravels, and then the gravels get fed through. Sorry about that, that's my dogs wandering around in the background. Into the hammers here. The hammers hammer them down. The output comes up to this chest. These chests here are basically just buffers because there aren't enough hammerers to handle everything constantly. This allows stuff to build up so that it doesn't kind of break the pipes. If you let things build up in the crafters, they eventually start piling up here, and then they won't output. So that's what these chests are for. They're just buffers. So anyway, it's kind of a looped system. It feeds it through multiple times until it finally produces the dusts. And then over here, there's a filter here. The dust gets drawn down underneath and comes over to the modular furnace, which I showed in a previous video. And all that stuff goes in automatically, and you can see it. You can hardly even see it. It cooks so quickly. And then the output I moved over here and connected into the sorting system behind all these barrels, and the smelted ores directly goes to the barrel that's appropriate for each one. Right now, since what I mostly need is iron, and also I want to use up what I have of the moon rock. This was nearly a full barrel, and it's almost empty now. It's got probably another hour it would be empty. But anyway, I get those meteorites and I turn them into broken ore, and I just throw them in here manually when I get them, and that produces iron. And I've got a fair amount of iron. All of this took a lot of iron to set up. Each one of these hammerers take, 40 ingots of iron or something, a very, very large amount. I set up another power station here to power this, and this is really almost insufficient power for this. And part of the problem is it's just not producing enough hydrogen. So I could upgrade this down here, the world interaction upgrade. I could put a few more in there. I really need to put a stack upgrade in there, and that would help. Okay, this is the problem. I need speed upgrades in there. I have some over here. I also got a stack upgrade, so yeah, this world interaction upgrade, I don't need a stack upgrade there. What I need is a few more world interaction upgrades to make sure that it's getting fed water at a fast enough rate to keep the decomposer working. And then I need a stack upgrade and a couple of speed upgrades here to make sure that there's enough hydrogen being fed to all of these. So maybe I ought to do that real quick. I may not have the stuff. I don't really have any gold right now. So the speed upgrades, yeah, I don't have enough gold to do that. Actually, maybe. I've got 3 gold ingots right now, so I could make speed upgrades. I just can't make any stack upgrades. Let's see, speed upgrades. I may have some gold nuggets left over from other stuff that I could use, so I don't have to break down. I don't have enough gold nuggets. Alright. Alright, this will give us 4 of those. Break down a nugget. And this alone may not solve the speed problem, but it may help. Now what will probably happen is this barrel won't fill fast enough, so this may drain to 0, and that's kind of the game you play. Every time you upgrade something over here, then you have to come back and upgrade the world interaction upgrades in there. But if you have the right upgrades and everything, a single decomposer can drive 32 Stirling engines. And if you do that, then basically these 2 barrels will fill up to 256, and this will always be full at 256. Like if you come over to this one here and you look here, this was at 256. I actually took some of the hydrogen out and stuck it over there, but if you watch it, it is slowly going up. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is going up very slowly. And that's with 4 sieves running, and the decomposer and the synthesizer, and I now have a circuit fabricator, excuse me, and the charger, which doesn't get, once they're full of power, I don't even know if they pull any trickle power. They might, I'm not sure. So while we're doing this, let's just kind of keep all of this going. Every now and again I'm just throwing stuff in here to make for a rocket long range goals, the stuff that I know that I'm going to need down the road. So what my strategy has been, some people might look at this and say, oh well this is not a very fast way to get to Mars, but my strategy is to get automated resource production as early as possible so that I don't have to mess with it. Because if it'll make resources on its own, I can go do other things. I can go mine stuff up, I can go explore the moon dungeons and hope for ender lily seeds. I can improve other places. Anytime I don't have to do anything manually, like if I want gravel, then this is what I have to do to make gravel. Now this is semi-automated. I could put another barrel here, and the magnesium oxide would go into that 4th barrel. But so what I've been doing is just kind of deleting it because I haven't found a use for it. And then the silicon dioxide is coming here, so I can just grab some of that. And I had decomposed all of the tin from the tin cans and made a bunch of tin ingots. So that's what was going on there. So that's not terribly hard to do, but it's somewhat tedious. And eventually, what'll happen when I run out of moon turf, I'll move that barrel of gravel over here, and eventually I'll have this set up so that the 4 major materials that you sieve, the turf, the dirt, the rock, and the gravel, they'll all have a sieving barrel here that feeds into the system that you can turn on and off. And then there will be another one for other miscellaneous things that you want to sieve, like the soul sand that I need for the nether, or nether quartz. But that's down the road a bit. I do need to get to Mars soon because I need Desh. I need to upgrade all of these Stirling engines with the capacitors, because they hugely increase how much power these produce. And right now I'm using this just because you really don't have a whole lot of choice. If you want a power system that you don't have to mess with, this is really the way to go. And that's the thing, is I don't want to have to mess with power if I can figure out a way around it. I know some people say that these Stirling systems run on hydrogen, wastes hydrogen, but if you get them set up properly, they produce their own hydrogen. The excess oxygen just gets thrown away. Excuse me. So I mean, how are you wasting something if you're producing it essentially for free? So that's my thinking. Just leave it alone, let it run, let it do its thing. I think that's everything to show down here. I'm not sure how long I've been recording. Probably about 20 minutes. Maybe I'll call the episode right there. You know, I know nobody really wants to sit through 40-minute episodes. You know, a lot of people don't even want to sit through 30-minute episodes. So I'm trying to keep them down to 20 minutes. And, you know, try to keep the content interesting so that people will keep watching, and hopefully, you know, they'll enjoy what I'm producing. And, you know, and maybe they'll like what I've done. I mean, that's the whole point of me doing this, is to show what I do, and see if people like it. But so anyway, that is the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you're so inclined. Leave a comment if you have a question or just want to make a comment or whatever. Feel free. This is Arturio Emerys signing out.